We often hear that Argentine ad execs are a bunch of sex maniacs with humor that borders on the scatological. Well, Armando Bo is proof that this also applies to Argentine directors.
Seguilo las 24 horas, solo por DirecTV.
It must be said that when he shot his first spots and set up a production company with one of his pals, Armando was only 20. And it showed. Spots which reflected the atmosphere he worked in.
Comparten asados, partidos de ping-pong, o sea, partidos de la selección, o sea, sí hay como una onda de equipo muy interesante y que sí es importante, porque la verdad que si hay algo que sí no me gusta es trabajar con gente que no tengo ninguna relación o afecto.
Team spirit that is seen in his filmography where team sports hold pride of place, and as this is Argentina, we're talking soccer. But unlike many of his compatriots, Armando seems to cast a caustic rather than fanatical eye on this sport, which in Maradona land is almost a religion.
Representa totalmente mi humor, que es muy irónico y al mismo tiempo bastante reírse un poco de uno mismo y de los demás.
But at the start of his career, it wasn't pals or pro sports that prevailed in his ads. In fact, it was that other favorite theme of the post-pubescent male.
Because as soon as you stop thinking about football, you start thinking about women again.
And judging by his show reel, our young Hidalgo may even appear slightly monomaniac, unless I'm reading too much into it.
Digo, básicamente son tendencias, o sea, tendencias de, digo, sí, obviamente tengo una gran cantidad de comerciales de Axe filmados y eso hace que sientan que uno tiene más facilidad para eso.
And it's a firm handle that handed him his first award at Cannes for an Axe campaign, actually in 2004.
Qué suaves son tus manos.
Pa, ¿cómo nací yo?
But maybe he owes this art of capturing the little realities of life in the can to his genetic heritage. His grandfather, Armando Bo I, was no less than the pioneer of Argentinian erotic cinema in the 1960s. Though the grandson has remained within advertising, he often pays tribute to his blue-chip celluloid roots, as in this silver lion-winning spot from 2006.
In this town, the law of gravity isn't very strict.
But what really enabled Armando to take off was a much rarer talent, that of making any situation, however absurd, seem credible.
And that's why strong bones are so important around here.
Si es una langosta que viene volando, quiero que se vea creíble, posible.
Flying lobster or dogfish, same difference. His taste for fiction has been cultivated since childhood, one spent following his father, also in the movie game.
Era productor, pero también era actor, entonces era como, así actuaba en unas películas tipo de, era como el James Bond argentino en algún punto, y era como medio interesante, de alguna manera iba a ver esos rodajes, donde había luchas y peleas y efectos especiales.
Estamos entrando a la estratosfera.
And in 2008, this worthy son of James Bond paid out of his own pocket for a car to be sent into space, gifting the spot to a small taxi firm in Cordoba. It was a way for Armando to get in some training before passing on to the serious stuff. He had never hidden his big screen ambitions.
Base, el pasajero continúa viaje.
Bienvenido a casa.
Un lugar que te permite aprender muy rápido y muy bien y muy profesional. Sí, obviamente hay algo que la publicidad no tiene y no lo puede tener, y es que que en 30 segundos es imposible meterse de alguna manera con lo que le pasa a alguien de verdad.
Not for want of trying, as in this washing powder ad.
Oh, yes, baby.
Él es Elvis. Él es desde que se levanta.
Oh.
In the end, what was just a script for a commercial became the subject of the second Armando Bo's first feature-length film. In The Last Elvis, soon to hit the theaters in Argentina, he spotlights a man who is convinced he is the king reincarnated.
¿Nunca sentiste que habías hecho todo en la vida? Habías triunfado en todo lo que te propusiste hacer.
Mind you, after being ranked in the global top 10 directors in advertising, making more than 500 films in the last 6 years, and earning a raft of awards for his production company, Armando maybe felt like he'd seen it all, advertising-wise. All we can do is wish him well as he dons his new jumpsuit.